Who determines how you spend your evenings? Is it you? Seems like an obvious answer, right? But I had an experience a while back that made me question this answer. At the time, I was living in Bali, where the power grid isn't always great, and one evening, myself and everyone else living in the villa, we were working away at our computers when suddenly everything went dark. And just minutes later, we were all sitting outside under the stars and having a conversation. And we were having one of these really good conversations, and it made me think, why don't we do this more often? So with the Ikario team, we started a challenge to see if we could replicate this kind of experience. Here are the rules of the challenge.
The rules were we had to turn off all electronic devices at 9 o'clock.
So we weren't allowed to use technology.
Phones and computer.
Have conversations until you go to bed.
All right, 9 o'clock guys, lights out, phones off, screens off, let's do this. One of the things I wanted to find out was, could we have these kinds of conversations that feel deep and meaningful and connect us, even if it's not just occasionally when there's a blackout, but if we do it several days in a row. So we did this challenge for a whole week.
So it's night one. What are we thinking so far, Dean? What you notice?
A lot of the things that we talk about are internet related talk. So things we've seen, things we've read. I can imagine that like most people do this most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we were cavemen sitting around a fire, right, we'd be, I don't know, sharing our adventures of the day.
Yeah.
So our adventures of the day have mostly happened like on the internet. Would we continue to enjoy these conversations? Would these conversations be creative and valuable? Or would it just end up with us sitting around going, I wish I could do something else?
It's like, that is interesting.
Another reason I wanted to do this challenge comes back to this question of who decides how I spend my time. Because it occurred to me that if I'm spending my evenings staring at screens all the time, is that really my choice? Am I doing that because that's how I want to live my life and spend my time? Or is it basically because I've become an addict? Am I sitting there working because I can't let go of work? Am I scrolling through YouTube or Reddit because these sites have successfully got their hooks into my brain and I can't stop? Am I checking my email and checking my Slack because I have FOMO? If that's the case, then really I'm not in charge of how I'm spending my evenings. I'm compelled to spend my evenings in ways dictated by software and systems and social networks. So that is the second aspect of this challenge. We wanted to find out what happens if we really take charge of how we spend our time. After doing this experiment for 7 days, I can say it was definitely a win. The conversations got better, if anything, and I was really looking forward to them. Not once did I wish that I was on Reddit or watching Netflix instead.
It felt like a proper end to a day.
My experience with this was calming and it was connecting. I felt like I was actually truly getting to know the people around me.
We just have had so many conversations at this point that I think we got to know a lot about each other that we didn't before.
You could see how the conversations changed over time. From the first day, it was kind of like shallow conversations, and then day to day, the topics would build on each other.
We talked about a whole breadth of stuff. We talked about death,
Overcoming problems.
introspection, we talked about meaning, we talked about dating, relationships.
What didn't we talk about? I don't even know, man.
What did we talk about?
Oh my God, everything. Philosophy, the world, the state of the economy,
Business stuff.
movies,
A whole heap of stuff.
stories,
Just like so much stuff.
dreams.
If you do this every single day, if you do this day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, you'll notice that the conversations tend to get deeper.
Since we started doing this, I do feel like I'm spending my time in a much more self-determined way. I feel like I'm spending my time in ways that I really want to and that are aligned with my values, and it just feels better. For these experiments that we're doing here, the leading question is always, is this something that makes my life better? And in this case, my answer is an absolute yes.
This has something in it that will make your life better.
Doing this makes my life, a hell of a lot better.
It's certainly better than ending the day with video games.
Yeah, I think it makes your life better, because without relationships, what's the point of life?
There's something about the human connection and the intimacy that develops over the course of 7 days of doing this every day that is just like you feel it. It's great.
Feels to me like this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to connect with each other and have these type of conversations. So yeah, this makes my life better.
So with that said, should you try this? Absolutely, highly recommended. And also let us know if you've had similar experiences by leaving a comment, and if you want to see more videos like this one, subscribe, clicking the button down below.